Hey everybody, it's Mace1370. Today we're going to do a Wyvern 13 one-shot guide because today is Hunt Buff Day. Before we get into it though, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, please see the video description below for a link to my Discord. And props to Hidden Darkness for posting this team. Okay, so Sinful Angelica is going to be used to tank the boss. She also provides attack buff as well as attack down on the boss, so that's another debuff for the rage set. I have her triple S there for the imprint. You don't need to mola her. 200 speed is good, so she takes the first turn. It allows you to put up attack buff before the rest of your team goes. 200% ER is what you want to shoot for so she doesn't get pushed back. And then 65% effectiveness gives you the most consistency to land her attack down. Super duper water gun shooter increases the attack of your team as well as their effectiveness, so that's a good artifact for her. Seaside Bologna is used to one-shot the first wave. I have her triple S and also fully mullied. 178 speed is good, so she takes the turn after Sinji and goes before the first wave. Then you just want 85% crit chance and enough damage to kill the first wave. So over 4k attack and about 325% crit damage or so should be good. And drink increases her damage, so helps you kill that first wave. You don't really need effectiveness on her. Flan, about 156 speed is good for her. You don't need molas. And then you just want enough effectiveness to be able to land her debuffs. So I have 143, that's more than enough. Warhorn is a great artifact for her because it allows her to get a little CR boost in the beginning of the second wave and increases the attack of your team. At 156 speed, she doesn't take a turn during the first wave, so that's ideally what you want. Sigret here is your main damage dealer, so Rage Set is a must. You can build her super slow. I've fully molded her skill 1 and 3. And then once you get Rage Set on her, you're just looking for 85% crit chance and then really as much damage as you can possibly get. I have over 4,500 attack and 340 crit damage, and I'd say this is just enough. It one-shots if I get a few debuffs on the boss. If it doesn't quite one-shot. Daydream Joker here increases her damage, and you want the EE that increases her bleed chance, since you want those debuffs on the boss to ensure the one-shot. This team will still work even if you don't land all the debuffs, so we'll take a look at a few example runs and how this plays out. Here's an example run where everything goes correctly and we get all the debuffs we need. So you can see that Sinful Angelica goes first. She puts attack buff up on the team and gives herself immortality. Seaside Bologna is speed tuned to go next and to go before the enemy mobs. So she does a lot of damage there, kills one of them, and then each enemy attacks, which gives Seaside Bologna enough stacks to do her passive skill 2 attack, and this wipes them. Note how Flan and Sigret have not had their turn yet. Now the Wyvern comes out, and you're going to see Warhorn proc here in a second and push Flan up. Sinji has too much effect resistance to be pushed back. There's the Warhorn proc, and now Flan goes. This is important because it allows her to go before Singelica and put up defense break. So now Singelica attacks into defense break, pulls Sigret, who does a lot of damage into that def break and also lands some bleeds, so we have a ton of debuffs on the boss. Sigret goes and kills the Wyvern. We also got a target from SSB there, which was nice. Here's an example run where we don't really get the debuffs we need, so we don't quite get the one-shot. So in PvE and PvP, there's 15% chance to be resisted, and this is no matter how much effectiveness you have. So the Wyvern in this particular PvE encounter has 80% effect resistance. That means your optimal amount of effectiveness is 65%. The reason for that is that any more effectiveness will not reduce that 15% difference between 65 and 85. So up to 65% effectiveness you get benefit. Any more effectiveness than 65 and you're still going to have a 15% chance to get resisted. And that's true for pretty much any type of PvE encounter. So if they have 100% effect resistance, then 85% effectiveness is your optimal number. So you need to get the defense break on Flan here. That's a requirement. If you don't get it, then you're not going to be able to kill the boss. So we get the defense break, but notice how we didn't get any bleeds or anything else really. So because of that, our Sigret does not one-shot. That's okay though, we still have the defense break, and SSB is going to bat back here and do a good amount of damage into that defense break. And then Flan goes, boosts up SSB, and she is able to finish off the boss. So your goal when you're building a team like this is to be as consistent as possible. Because we are reliant on the defense break, and we can never reduce effect resistance below 15%, we're always going to fail 15% of the runs that we do. That said, this team probably one-shots successfully, I'd say 60% to 70% of the time, and then the rest of the successful runs that don't one-shot are finished off really quickly in just that second round of attacks. So I've recorded another one of those here so you can get an idea of how long these runs take. They're pretty quick overall though, and so I think it'll really help improve, you know, how many runs you can get in on Hunt Buff Day, you know, compared to like a General Purgus type team. You need to, you know, look at your gear and change things accordingly. So the better raid set gear you have, the fewer debuffs you need to successfully one-shot the boss. So even if you don't have quite the amount of damage I have on my raid set, you're going to be landing debuffs a lot of the time, and you're going to be able to kill the boss, you know, more likely than not, even if it doesn't quite one-shot. So you'll be in a scenario like this, where we get the bat back from SSB into defense break, and then Flan will boost up SSB and kill the boss. So I wanted to show several different runs here where we don't get all the debuffs we need, so you can get an idea of the time variability between runs with this setup. If you get the successful one-shot, so you get the debuffs you need and kill the boss right away, the run takes about a minute, maybe a minute and 10 seconds. And if you miss a couple of the debuffs and have to go those couple additional attacks to finish the boss off, the run takes about a minute and 30 seconds. So overall, you're getting, you know, quite a few runs in on Hunt Day, and it's a very fast, efficient team. Obviously, if you fail, that's going to delay it quite a bit because you have to sit there and, you know, wait for the boss to kill you.
Don't even think about fighting me.
So you can see here, Flan is boosted up. And normally she should land unhealable and defense break, but here she just gets the defense break. We do land attack down and a couple bleeds though.
Please disappear.
It's just not quite enough debuffs to kill. However, it was enough debuffs to do a little bit more damage. And so you can see that the bat back from SSB here is going to get us the kill. So on this particular run, we don't have to wait for Flan's push-up. So overall, I would highly recommend this team. I think it's going to really increase your farming efficiency. Please let me know in the comments below how you are doing on Hunt Buff Day. I hope you're getting a lot of great gear. That's all for now. Later.